Happy World Kindness Day, everyone. Thank you for being here. Maybe it's no coincidence we're talking about emotional intelligence, or EQ, today. This session is about connection. It's about how to talk with your team in a way that feels steady. It's open and safe. I'm here with Julie Knott. She's one of our mentors at the MentorWell. We're going to be real. We're going to be practical and honest together. And this is one of the biggest challenges that parents reach out to me about. How do I get my teen to open up? And the best part of our webinars has been our question and answer portion that happen at the end. So we are all here for our own reasons, and hopefully you walk away with a couple of strategies that you find useful and can apply to your world today. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat box, and I'll ask Julie to read them at the end. So if you have a question and you're not comfortable asking it in this forum, please drop me an email at chris@thementorwell.com, and I'll respond directly there. So I'm here today talking about emotional intelligence. It's a story, unfortunately, that comes from tragedy. I'm the father of 3 children. Zach and Sawyer are my sons, and my daughter Maddie was 14 when she died by suicide. I did not understand how much she was hurting inside, and I thought things would pass. I thought she was managing. I missed how quiet the signs were. And losing her changed my life, and it changed how I listen, and it changed how I show up as a parent, and it changed what I believe matters in a family. This work is not theory for me. It's personal. And my hope that families can build connection earlier, and if one family has a different outcome because of this work, then this mission is worth it.
Most parents want the same thing. You want to feel close. You want your teen to talk to you. You want to help them. But sometimes the more we try, the more tense things feel. If that is your experience, you're not alone. This is common. There is nothing wrong with you or your child. We just need different tools. Emotional intelligence is awareness. Awareness of your own internal state, awareness of what someone else may be feeling. It is the ability to pause before reacting, to respond with intention instead of impulse, to stay steady even when emotions are strong. It is not about staying calm all the time. It is about noticing when you feel overwhelmed and choosing how to show up. This is not about being gentle or soft. It is about being clear, grounded, and present. It builds trust, and trust is what opens the conversations with our kids. This is a skill. You can learn it. Your teen can learn it. You do not need to have this all figured out to start.
EQ influences every part of our life, not only parenting. It changes how we handle conflict with our partner, how we manage stress at work, how we respond when someone is upset with us, how we talk to our parents, how we show up with friends, and maybe most importantly, it's how we speak to ourselves. When we grow our EQ, we build the ability to stay grounded. We become easier to talk to. People feel safe around us. That includes our kids. And this is not just parenting work. This is life work. So when emotions get high, it's easy to react. We speak fast, we interrupt, we raise our voice without meaning to. Our team shuts down, we feel shut out. Both people feel misunderstood. No one is trying to hurt anyone here. This is just what happens when feelings are strong and tools are limited. This is common. This is human. There is nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with your teenager. We just need new patterns. And new patterns are learnable.
We want conversations that feel open, where our teens do not fear our reaction, where they can cease and say something hard and not embrace for anger or fixing. We want to be the person they come to, not the person they avoid. Connection comes before guidance, before correction, before advice. When your teen feels safe with you emotionally, you have the influence. When they do not feel safe, advice will not land, even if it's good advice. So the goal is not to control. The goal is safety, presence, and trust. This is when emotional patterns are forming. This is when kids start pulling inward, when they feel overwhelmed. This is also when the warning signs are quiet. It often looks like moodiness, disinterest, irritation, fatigue, numbness, or isolation. We are often told they will grow out of it. It's just adolescence, school stress, hormones. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. The key is not to panic. The key is to pay attention, to stay close, and to stay available. The earlier we respond, the more we can prevent escalation.
Emotional safety is the foundation of every supportive conversation. Your child needs to know two things. One, you can handle their feelings. And two, you'll not react in a way that makes things worse. When you stay calm, your teen learns that their emotions are manageable. Their steadiness gives them steadiness. You do not need perfect words. You only need presence. Show your voice, show your breathing, make space. Safety is what opens the door. And the strategies we're going to go about, though they're simple, they take a lot of practice. These tools are not about parenting harder. These tools they're about parenting calmer. You do not need to use them all at once. Pick one, use it consistently, then add another when you're ready. Small changes create meaningful shifts. When your teen shares something, notice your first instinct. For many parents, the instinct is to fix, to solve, to protect. I'm guilty of it as much as anyone. But when a teen is overwhelmed, being offered solutions can feel like pressure. It can make them shut down, and often it does. So ask, do you want me to help you solve this? Or do you want me to stay with you while you talk? In other words, do you want me to help fix this? Or do you just want me to sit here and feel it with you? If they say solve it, help them work through the next steps slowly. If they say, stay with me, your job is just to listen. No advice, just presence. This question gives them control of the conversation. Control builds trust. And this is probably the single best advice that I give parents, and they come back to me and they go, thank you. It's not easy to do, but if you start a conversation when your child starts to share something with you, ask that as a qualifying question, and it'll have a resounding effect.
The 10-second pause. After your teen shares something emotional, pause. Breathe once. Wait 10 seconds before responding. This pause is important. It shows that you're not rushing to fix or judge. It tells your teen that your feelings are allowed. It also gives you time to settle your own reaction, so you can respond with calm instead of fear or frustration. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but silence is often where connection grows. Name what you see. Sometimes teens do not know how to express what they feel, or they're afraid of saying the wrong thing. So you help them by noticing gently. Say one simple observation. It seems like today was a lot. It looks like this is sitting heavy for you. Keep it brief. Do not guess the reason why. Do not try to interpret or label the emotion. Just notice it. That helps your teen feel seen and not alone.
Asking permission respects their space, and it prevents your questions from feeling intrusive. Say, can I ask you something about what you said earlier? If they say yes, ask with kindness. If they say no, respond with, okay, I'm here when you're ready. This tells them that you will not push. It shows you can wait, and waiting communicates safety. When they choose to come to you, it's voluntary. And voluntary connection is stronger than forced conversation.
It takes our teens' courage to speak openly, especially when they are scared, confused, or frustrated. Start with appreciation. Thanks for telling me. I'm glad you're sharing that with me. This is reassurance. It says their voice matters. It tells them they did not make a mistake by opening up. And then ask, do you want ideas, or do you want me to just stay with you for a bit? This prevents pressure. It prevents misunderstanding. Advice without permission often feels like criticism. Support before advice builds trust. Your tone and body language matter more than your words. Your child will watch your reaction before they hear your response. If our shoulders are tight, our voices are raised, or our breathing's fast, they may feel unsafe or judged, even if our words are gentle. So focus on your own calm first. Relax your shoulders, lower your voice, and slow your breathing. Your calm tells your teen, you're safe here. Your feelings are not too much. I can handle this. This is what allows conversation to continue. We don't need long, heavy talks. Long talks often overwhelm teens. Short and steady work better. Aim for 5 to 10 minutes. Stay focused on listening. Do not try to solve everything at once. If you end while the connection is still open, our teen is more likely to come back to us again. Connection grows over time, not in one big conversation.
When we apologize to a teen, we're showing them that their feelings matter. It tells them they are heard and respected. They also learn that mistakes are part of relationships, not the end of them. A good apology has few parts. Be specific about what you're apologizing for, not a general, sorry, something clear. For example, I interrupted you and did not give you the space to finish. Acknowledge the impact, how it landed. I can see that it made you feel dismissed. Show genuine remorse. This is the part they feel more than they hear. If it fits, include what you will try next time. I'll slow down and listen before I react next time. Avoid the conditional apology. I'm sorry if you felt that way. That shifts it back on them. Also, avoid explaining why you did it or defending your reaction. That pulls you away from the repair. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to stay connected. Parents often set rules reactively when something's already gone wrong. The problem is teens don't feel part of that decision, so they push back. Collaboration builds ownership. When teens help shape the rules, they see them as fair. And when they understand the why, they're more likely to honor the what. If you're giving your teen a phone, set the expectations first. Write them down, even sign them. If they already have one, use the renewal or upgrade time to reset the agreement. It's always better to negotiate before emotions get high than argue after. Collaborative boundaries build trust, reduce conflict, and strengthen connection.
The follow-up later. This step matters. It shows consistency and care. At a calm moment later in the day, say, I was thinking about what you shared earlier. I'm here if you want to talk more. This does three things. One, it shows that your teen, that your feelings or their feelings stayed with you. Two, it shows that you are reliable. And three, it reminds them that they are not alone. So follow up. Follow up builds trust across time.
So these tools are simple to understand. They're not easy to do in emotional moments. You'll not get this right every time. No parent does. No child expects you to. What matters is effort, showing up, trying again tomorrow. Your teen does not need a perfect parent. Your teen needs a parent who stays, who listens, who keeps trying. Practice builds this skill. Consistency builds the relationship.
Support does not mean you failed. It means you are paying attention. Consider extra support if your child withdraws from daily life, their mood changes significantly, they talk about feeling empty, numb, or hopeless, you notice behavior that worries you. Your instincts tells you something is not settling. Mentorship can help early. Therapy may be the right next step if safety or deeper intervention is needed. You're not alone in this. There are people who can walk with you.
So the MentorWell connects teens and young adults with emotionally steady adults who listen and guide without judgment. We build confidence, direction, and emotional awareness. We also help parents strengthen communication at home. We do this because the earlier we build emotional support, the better the long-term outcomes. Connection helps prevent crisis. No family should have to navigate this alone. You guys were scared. You thought I was going to go into the whole MentorWell pitch, didn't you? Anyway, this is the Q&A portion. You can ask real questions and share what's happening in your home if you choose to. Obviously, there's some sensitivity around it. So if you choose to want to ask, you can always email me at chris@thementorwell.com, and I can respond accordingly. Anyway, this is your time to ask questions. So please, thank you for being here. And if you guys have any questions, please ask. Oh, do we have anything in the chat box, Julie?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Oh. Is it possible to get a printout of your presentation after today's meeting?
Yeah, we can send a link to the presentation if that's, we'll send a copy of the recording. If you'd like a copy of the actual, just the presentation, that's something we can do as well. If you just want to, so Sarah, I'll make a note to send you the actual presentation itself.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So one of my teenagers likes to use the kind of terminology that when something comes up, she's like, well, you're going to get upset, or you always get upset with me, or she uses these kind of, always and never. I consider myself a very, supportive, calm person. I really make an effort to, practice a lot of mindfulness. And when it comes to dealing with my kids and that sort of thing, I'm constantly working on myself. So I don't consider myself, to be, oh, they're just saying that and I'm, I've got it all figured out. I want to get better, but I feel like that I'm really pretty good about staying open. I have told them from a very young age, hey, my door is always open. I'm here to listen, not to judge. But, things come up and she's like, well, I didn't say anything because I already knew that you were going to get upset, when in actuality, I don't get upset. So it's just something that I've found really frustrating, that her perception of me and our conversations is totally different than my perception. So it's kind of hard to get, on the same page, because it's kind of a she said thing. She says this is her reality, and I feel like this is my reality. So it's just been challenging to kind of find a good, middle ground with that type of scenario.
So thanks for sharing that. Nadia, when she asks you that, how do you respond when she says, oh, Mom, you're just going to get upset at me? How do you respond to that?
Well, I usually try to, I've kind of tried to move away from saying, I'm sorry that you feel that way, because that I've learned has has been kind of a trigger with both of my teenagers. So I just, say, well, I'm sorry that I've made you feel like that I'm going to get upset with you. But when have I, if you've come to me with something or something happens and after the fact, I really try hard to not, make it a bad situation, but to just listen. So why do you, I just try to understand why she feels that way. And her answer usually is because you get upset. And then, to add on that, she kind of lumps her dad and I together to a kind of, overall parental unit. So he is very opposite. We're not together. He is very reactive. He is very angry. And so it's frustrating to me to be lumped into this. Well, I already know, my parents are going to get upset. You guys are going to get upset. So she kind of lumps me in with this, unit, when in actuality, our parenting styles are very different. So it just doesn't ever really seem to get anywhere.
Well, you know what? You sound like you responded in the right way. And what I find, sometimes they just like to test us as well. And that comes across as maybe, you know what? I'm just going to poke the bear and see if I can validate my concern. And as long as you remain calm, and your husband, maybe maybe he needs to take this course as well, because often what happens, they look at the parental unit as kind of one and the same. Well, you guys are ganging up on me, so even getting him to just take a calm approach, slow down the reaction, breathe, and it's not easy. As long as you all you can do is control how you respond. You can't control how they react. So
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not perfect, and it's not going to work every single time. But at the same time, you know what? It sounds like you're doing what I would say is you're doing exactly what I would have done. Not that I'm the perfect parent, but it's those elevated conversations when they become elevated, and we sometimes get enticed into the engagement. The challenge is just to remain calm, which, let's face it, we're also human. And our kids, they know how to push our buttons. So just control your reaction, which sounds exactly like what you're doing. So.
Yeah. I'm trying. I appreciate that. It's, I do know that I can't control her perception of me. And I do agree that I feel like sometimes it is a test. I feel like that she's, over and over and over seeing how, the pattern of my response. And then gradually what I'm hoping is that over time, being consistent with my response will allow her to feel safer, So, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, good luck. Twin 16-year-old girls. Wow. And there's two of them. So do they gang up on you as well?
They really don't. Historically, it's been one or the other, but the few times that they have ganged up on me, I'll tell you that's rough. That is really, really, really tough. I can handle one at a time. But just that barrage of teenage, I want to say hatred, because it can seem like that, but when they both gang up on me, it's very, very emotionally draining. It's really hard. So thankfully it doesn't happen very often. And I also have an 8-year-old. So, I feel like I'm hopefully going to be a little bit better equipped, in a few years when everything starts with her. So, and she sees all this. She's taking all of this in. She kind of talks about it like it's some sort of disease. She's like, Mom, they'll get better, right? And I'm like, yes, they will grow up. So,
Just in time for you to become a teenager.
yes, exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? I guess for some reason I didn't automatically admit people into the meeting for some reason, so I probably missed people who were attempting to get in. Anyway, if there are there any? Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I just wanted to I wanted to talk. I wanted Julie to explain. So Julie came to me a number of months ago and said, Chris, I love what you're doing. And Julie's a mom of 2 teens. And she said, I'd really like to be a mentor. And Julie, maybe you could explain why you became a mentor and why you feel it's so important, because it's exactly why we want to have people like you as mentors.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as Chris mentioned, I've bothered him for very many months since I heard MentorWell, because I think it is exactly what our kids need, and exactly what us as parents need. I was obviously a teenager at one time, and when I was at the age between 13 and 19, I did go through a lot. I had a family who I was raised in a family with addiction. I self kind of medicated with a lot of drinking when I was younger. I had a really hard time being in healthy relationships when I was a teenager. And I can say that the people who really kind of pushed me through high school and stuff were some of my teachers who really were kind of that mentor space. I wish I would have had like a real person in my corner at all times when I was a teenager, where I didn't feel alone, and I had someone who could sit with me and not judge me for the things that I had done, or what I was going through. And so I had both my boys quite young. I was 19 when I had my oldest, who is now 18, and 20 when I had almost 21 when I had my second. I had both of them in a relationship full of violence, and so coming out of that was really challenging as a teenage mom in itself. And again, knowing that there are other people going through things that I went through, knowing that even what our teens go through now with cell phones and bullying doesn't stop at school anymore. All of that really is huge to me. Being able to be someone who can just get on a call with a kid and listen to them without judging anything that they're going through, and just hearing them. And I think it means a lot because of everything. I've been a behavioral interventionist for 18 years with kiddos and teens. I've worked in high schools with at-risk teens, and I will say the biggest impact is always just being able to listen to them and not judging them. And to this day, I have all of them still coming up to me and telling me, big things that either they're celebrating or they're going through. And so I know that this is such a big thing for our world, and for our kids. And as parents, we need a community and we need a village to help raise all of our wonderful humans and all of what they're going through. And so, that is why I joined MentorWell. I have mentors for both my kiddos. They've gone through stuff as well. And I know that as a parent, that not always are they going to talk to me. So if I can have someone that I trust and that I feel connected with and stuff in their corner, I will always take that, because I really think that we all just need someone who believes in us, even when we don't believe in ourselves. So that is why I joined the MentorWell, and why I'm super, super passionate about everything that Chris does.
Thanks, Julie. And that is so important for anyone who has a child who's navigating something like a divorce or a loss. Having someone that may have been in a very similar set of circumstances when they were growing up. And sometimes teens just need to know that there's a path forward, that someone else has gone before them and has come out the other side and is flourishing. And that is where I believe, I look back and I think, I wish Maddie had access to someone who had navigated a nasty divorce, or someone who had been a competitive swimmer and got so overwhelmed that she quit, where she could have just paused. But kids don't have the emotional capacity, and because they've never been taught about emotions. So anyway, Julie, thank you for sharing your vulnerable story and willing to share it with other young people. And I truly believe all of our mentors come at this from a place of empathy, relatability, and from kindness. So anyway, that is it. Unless anyone else has any further questions, really appreciate you all joining. And once again, if you have any questions you'd like to ask me directly, feel free to email me, chris@thementorwell.com. And appreciate your attendance, and have a great rest of your World Kindness Day. Anyway, thank you, everyone.